Hey, welcome home to Mountain Home. I'm Jarrell. It's good to see you. I want to share with you a project that I will be working on. It's in between the size of a mandola and an octave mandolin. It's pretty long for a mandola, pretty short for an octave mandolin, but you can configure that either way based on the strings that you use. I got this one from China and it's extremely terrible quality. The build material on the neck is some sort of weird fibrous, porous, scratchy wood. I'm not sure what that is. The body is all right, but this thing never played correctly. And one of the problems with it is that it actually needed a 0 fret. They needed to have placed a fret right here at the nut, and they didn't, so the intonation was way off. And just to double check that, because I thought just looking at it something was wrong, so I actually just jammed a toothpick under there, and of course I had to cut some slots into there, but then after I put a toothpick under that, the intonation was okay and it was playable. The bridge that it came with was just some soft wood thing. It was just terrible. Now when you have a soft wood for the bridge, it absorbs the vibration. It does not effectively transmit the vibrations from the string to the top of the instrument. So it just sounded so weak. So I've put this hardwood on there with this isn't bone, it's some material that I forgot. It's some fancy word. I already forgot what it was. The tuning machines are rough. The build quality, the manufacturing, not great. There's flaws all over. So it was very cheap. This was a very cheap instrument, but it's not worth buying because you have to do so much work yourself in order to make it playable. And even after all that work, it does not sound good. I believe I even replaced the tailpiece here. I think the one that it came with was some cheap, flimsy piece of, pressed metal that was really soft and cheap. So this never played well. I have an octave mandolin that sounds how I would like an octave mandolin to sound. So what I will be doing is converting this into a resophonic octave mandolin. Now, an octave mandolin is a bigger mandolin. It plays a full octave down from a standard mandolin. Mandolins are quite common. Octave mandolins are a bit more rare. They're quite rare, but I would say they're very uncommon. I wouldn't say they're rare because you can meet people that play octave mandolin. So I got these parts here. This is 6" in diameter. So today I'm going to measure out and cut out the top of this instrument, and we'll go ahead and that will be sitting up there. This is going to be a close call because the strings are going to have to sit quite high up. I have the cone here, so the style of this one is the cone and the biscuit. You can see I've got the biscuit in there. Maybe I'll just bust that open and we can take a look at that. Free up some hands. See? And that'll sit like that on the cones there. There's going to have to be some structural work that I'll have to create. So that'll sit down inside of the body, and then that'll sit on top. Now, I've been looking around for a resophonic octave mandolin, a resonator octave mandolin. I can't find one in existence. I haven't seen one anywhere. I haven't found any photos or documentation of any, so it's quite difficult to figure out if one exists or not. There aren't any guides to follow, so I'm going to make my own. So I will try to record as much of the process as I can, and I'll make a video and I'll share it with you. This will be an instrument that I'll use in my work when I'm composing music and recording music for work. And I might take it to music jams and music sessions and play along and see. So I think that'll be fun. So I hope you're looking forward to seeing more of that. That's going to be a resophonic octave mandolin. If you do know of one, if you've seen one before, I'd like to hear about it. Now I'll share a little bit of progress on my 12-string banjo. This is the 12-string banjo I've mentioned a little bit in a video before. I made a lot of progress last night, so I shaped out the neck and I got the neck attached to the body, and it sat on there way better than I thought it was going to, which is a nice surprise. You can see I've got that fitted. I really feel like I should have had a steeper angle on these tuning machines here. I feel like the angle wasn't steep enough, but that's just how it turned out, so that's how it's going to be. I wanted it to be a little steeper, but that's okay. Okay. Now what actually I have to do, I was just sort of seeing how things were going to line up. I need to remove this last fret here and then cut that portion of the fretboard because I need the neck. I need the neck to move back a little bit, and I need the fretboard to sit more flush with the metal rim of the banjo here. It's sitting too high up, as you can see. So that's basically what I'll be working on today for this guy, but it turned out a bit better than I thought it was going to, and I'm quite pleased with it. I'm just going to put, you know, some dark hardwood over that plate for the truss rod there. Anyway, that's going to be the 12-string banjo. You can see how the heel turned out. And Deering makes these to order. They're around $4,500 from Deering. That's a little bit out of my price range for an instrument that I won't be playing full-time, professionally gigging. You know, if you're a professional musician and you're gigging, you know, and you want something like that, then I think you can justify it. What I have to do next when I finish this video is I just need to remove this nut here. You can see it, it's sitting insanely high. It's so I'm just going to bump that out, and then I'm going to sand it back a little bit, and then I'll glue it back on because it's super high. I'm just waiting on my strings to arrive. I've ordered light electric nickel strings. You can order, you know, a light phosphor bronze set, but I'm concerned about the muddiness. The reason why a 5-string banjo sounds so good is due to the light tension of these strings. I have a 6-string banjo, and I will make a video explaining the differences, but if you strum chords, it's very muddy. There's a lot of wolf tones. You get a lot of noise from the instrument. And so I am concerned about this 12-string being quite muddy, and you know, you would play it for arpeggios and melodies and whatnot, but if you strum chords on it, it's just going to be messy. The problem is that, say like you hit one string, well, all the strings are attached to the same bridge, and it's going to cause the surface to resonate. So you hit one string, but all of the strings actually contribute to the noise. And if you have many strings on there, they're all going to contribute to a noise. That's why they get muddy. They all have high tension. So I'm going to try to keep the tension as low as possible, and hopefully the light gauge nickel strings will be a bit cleaner. So if it's so muddy that it's just not pleasant, what I will do is I'll swap out this frosted top, which is the most common top for banjo. I'll swap that out for a clear top, and those generally have a focus on the higher registers of the tones, and generally I've been told it has a very clear voice that helps with muddiness. So we'll see. Okay, so I hope you look forward to seeing more videos on these projects here. Thanks for stopping by. This is the last time we will see this thing looking like this. The next time you see this, it'll have a resonator cone in there, and let's see if I don't mess it up. All right, thanks everyone. It's great to spend a little bit of time with you. You take care of yourselves, be well, and come home again soon. I'll leave the porch light on for you.